that mean for you?
But it's awesome to have those guys back, and we've watched a lot of film on what they accomplished. I've personally got to know a lot of those guys over the years, and seeing the impact and the standard that they set for our program. We had talked with our team. We had watched film on some of their games and clinching the conference championship on Friday. So it was really important for us to honor that group appropriately, to come out and be at our best, especially defensively, because that was a team and those were guys that left it on the line, dove for loose balls, rebounded like crazy, played extremely hard. So in order for us to do the best job honoring those guys, we really wanted to be focused defensively to be at our best. And I thought, in many stretches of the game we did that. There's a couple lapses, but was proud of our guys for appropriately honoring those teams.
TJ, you were calling from the bench early on in the game for movement offensively, whether it be players or the ball. How important is it for guys to get offensive movement and keep the ball from sticking in one spot?
I think, Baylor is a very well coached team. They're a team that defensively switches a lot. So they're zone, they're man, they're playing man and switching things on ball, off ball. So they're giving you a lot of different looks. And I think sometimes you can get focused on what they're doing as opposed to how we want to attack. And we talk a lot about whether the other team's man, zone, switching. We have a rhythm and a flow to our offense, and we want to keep the ball on the move, simple play for one another. And they did a great job at stretches early preventing us from doing that. And the ball would get stuck and we'd over dribble it. And I felt like in the second half our intent was much better. Our player movement and ball movement was much better. And we made a few more shots and we're a little more active on the offensive boards, which also helped.
And when things go quiet on the offensive end sometimes, what does it take to climb back into a rhythm and create some of that offensive momentum again?
Yeah, best way to do it is get stops, live ball turnovers. We didn't have many of those today. And play off your defense. So you're attacking in advantage situations. Defenses are not matched up the way they want to be, or they're not back. So I think we've just got to be more intentional and focused on turning our opponent over, securing the basketball. I felt like there's a couple rebounds today we could have done a better job securing, and then attacking in transition. Because when great teams, like Baylor, who are well coached, get their defense set, it becomes difficult, in the half court against them.
TJ, you talked about how those 2000, 2001 teams played. What do you think about what those groups accomplished? How do you think about what they did over the course of 2 years in this building?
No, when we recognize how challenging it is, when you play in this league, just every game is hard, right? And obviously we're fortunate to play it, in the best home court in the country with the greatest fans. And those guys had a lot to do with that, because a lot of our fans have terrific memories from those seasons. And so to be able to win the league back-to-back years is a tremendous accomplishment. And I know, oftentimes, there's great players that were NBA players like Jamal Tinsley and Marcus Fizer, and obviously Paul Shirley made it in the NBA, but there's so many guys, the Mike Nurses, the Cantrell Hortons, that were terrific players. Guys that Stevie Johnsons that did the dirty work. So many great players, but a great team. And to do it back-to-back years, you've got to be great at home, great on the road. You got to really care about one another. And being around those guys last night and seeing that bond and them reconnecting was really cool. And it's hard to share with guys on your team, but we just want to focus on having a great practice. But I hope for our guys that they continue to stack up days and have great practices so they can be a part of something like we saw last night, because it's really cool when guys come back and shared such great memories together.
We talked to Coach Eustace right before halftime, and the first thing you brought up was how much your team reminds him of his team. What does that mean to hear from a coach like Eustace?
Yeah, Coach Eustace's teams defensively were relentless. They prided themselves on getting back in defense, sprinting back on defense, getting set, and limiting you to one shot. Those are things that we really try to carry forward. He has this term rebound down, which is something that we've really tried to incorporate. And you see Keyshawn Gilbert get 10 rebounds today. Rebound down means the bigs block out the bigs and the guards come down and get the rebound. And although we didn't do an awesome job of that in the first half, in the second half we did. So look, it's a tremendous honor to be the caretaker of this program. I love this program. I love this place. So grateful and thankful to all those who have come before us. But when a coach that accomplished what Coach Eustace did with those back-to-back championships says that, a lot of credit to our assistant coaches and our players for the hard work that they do every day.
When you beat a top 25 team by 19, and it felt like there was not much celebration after 3 years in now, how expected do those wins feel when they happen?
I mean, more than anything, we're not as outcome based, even though we understand that on the day of the game, the job is to come out with the win, find a way to win by any means possible. We want to continue to keep our focus on staying in our routine each and every day, getting the most out of our day, focusing on our daily habits, and making sure that we stay locked in. And, you know, it's how you do anything is how you do everything. That's such a big deal in our program, how you carry yourself, how you treat people, how you practice, how you stay humble, how you focus. So, look, it's great that we're able to win the game today. I have a lot of respect for their coach and a lot of respect for their program, and they're terrific. And we're just going to keep our head down and keep doing the hard work, and the games will take care of itself if we keep our focus where it needs to be.
TJ, what are your thoughts on the way that your team handled Baylor? Just a great offensive rebounding team, but you guys were able to limit their second chance opportunities in scoring.
Yeah, I mean, at the start, they were terrific. Felt like Omier and Ujawuna had 7 offensive rebounds in the first 12 or 13 minutes. I mean, they were all over the glass early. Part of how we're trying to do things is the consistency over 40 minutes, and we did challenge our guys at halftime in that area to make sure not, guarding the dribble is important, but also finishing plays on the glass. And I think that's an area we can continue to work on, an area we continue to be good. But over time, you realize, with Baylor's program, they average 15 offensive rebounds, and every single year they're great at it. So you've got to be at your very best and be focused at all times to try to keep a team like that off the glass, and felt like in the second half we did.
It's obviously no secret that you guys are playing pretty high level offense this year, top 3, top 5 in the country. Today you go 6 of 11 from 3 in the second half. How much of a conscious effort have you guys made to play more like analytically sound basketball of paint twos, free throws, and a higher volume of threes this season?
Yeah, I would say, I talk all the time about young coaches and how numbers driven and analytics. I'm always going to be mentality driven. I think when you're the tougher team, the more physical team, the more aggressive team, those things come out, on their own. And so things I really look at statistically are turnovers, trying to win that battle, which today we didn't. Paint points, which is a part of that, which today we were successful there. Rebounding, which we had more rebounds, but I could argue that on either side of it. And then I feel like when you're the more aggressive team, teams have to collapse, teams have to try to support the paint on the glass, and that's where the looks from 3 comes. So I think a lot of teams that play the analytics are a lot more volume from 3 than what we are. We want to win at the paint, we want to win at the rim, we want to win at the foul line, and we want to take the right threes, and I felt like for the most part tonight we did that.
To follow up, do you feel like when you guys are having a lot of success in the paint and getting to the free throw line that more opportunities are naturally coming for guys like Curtis and Milan from beyond the arc?
I do, and I think it's also important, like Milan did today, he came out right away and hit a contested 3 early, and we want Milan to be so aggressive. We want him hunting, moving, always on the hunt, because regardless of when it comes, we've got tremendous confidence in his ability to knock it down. Kurt usually doesn't have that same issue. He's hunting, and we need him to keep hunting. So, look, you know what? It was great to see Taman knock a few down. I'm on him nonstop about get your feet set. So I think for all of our guys, they're all they have so much fun playing for one another, and we have a lot of guys that can attack the paint, create an advantage, and we just need to continue to be ready to knock down shots because they're going to present themselves.
You mentioned the relative lack of live ball turnovers forced what does it say about your defense if they still lock in, hold them to 29.7% shooting and 24% from three, seemingly contesting about everything despite the lack of ball turnovers?
Yeah, except for about 3 or 4 of those late possessions. I thought we did a great job in that department. I think there's a way that when you're able to turn people over, and again, how we defended the pick and roll today was a little different than what we normally do. We were a little bit more in a drop coverage where a lot of times we'll blitz it, trap it, be more aggressive. We felt like by doing that, we could do a better job keeping Omer in front of us, taking lobs away from the big man, and then keep them off the glass, and that was important. So we knew that the likelihood of turning them over probably wouldn't be as great, and then they have very skilled guards as well. So it's great that we were able to contest, to make a miss, to keep them away from the rim and the foul line. We've just got to keep working defensively because I believe we could still be better on that end.
Thanks, everyone.